Well, it's a very warm welcome and thank you for joining us on this independent off-tube studio commentary. The game at the Gtech Community Stadium is just about to get underway. Our referee Anthony Teller just checking with both goalkeepers, and potentially could be a long evening for Brentford, although they have made a very good start at home this season. That home form has just been rocked a little bit in the last couple of games, including a very poor and struggling Plymouth Argyle side that arrived here at the weekend and took care of Brentford 1-0 in an FA Cup game. Man City had no such problems, absolutely gliding past Salford 8-0 at the weekend. And in fairness, Guardiola's side, after a rocky month or so, have started to see a bit more of an improvement in form. So it could be a long night for the home side. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and John Hogan taking it to the action. John, if we'd have played this game maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, you might have given Brentford a bit more of a chance.
I still give them a big chance. I've seen City recently, and even the 4-1 against West Ham could have scored 5 goals. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a big Rodri-sized hole in the midfield, and it's not been plugged. I think one thing, he had to stop picking Gundogan because he cannot do that job. He's not quick enough anymore. I don't think Kovacic by himself can either. I really like as well for Brentford that they've got an attacking 3 against a defensive 3. It means, you're one-on-one. And we know that Visser and Mbeumo can beat their man. So I've no problem seeing Brentford score tonight. So I think they've got a good chance, I really do.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, because both of us were a little bit dubious about the sort of formation we had suggested for Manchester City. Just looking at the first time City were in possession, it looks as though Matheus Nunes might actually be playing on the right-hand side of defence. We'll wait and see whether or not that's a permanent fixture. Meanwhile, Brentford are trying to play out from the back. Bit of pressure here from Manchester City as well. Do eventually get the ball away from their own box, and it's Collins that can bring the ball forward down the right-hand side. And Boomer wanted an early ball over the top. Collins prefers to go square into Norgard, putting his captain into trouble there potentially. But Janelt is able to find a pass out towards Lewis Potter, who then tries a long diagonal ball over the top. It's an easy one though. Gvardiol able to get in the way, and now it's Savinho here for Manchester City, just turning away from trouble and back into his own defensive line.
I tell you what, Paul, City are a mess. They're just a mess there without the ball. I was looking at the movement, and Mbeumo, he had about 2 or 3 running with him when he tried to break the line. You think, well, what is it you're trying to do? Honestly, if Brentford can get enough ball tonight, I think they can do damage. The problem is that City are overbalanced. They all want it to go the other way, and if they got on the ball, you know for a fact that they're going to score goals too. So I don't think it's going to be 0-0. I'll put it like that.
No, I think both teams to score might be a decent shout. As City on the attack now, De Bruyne had so much space in midfield there to try and thread a pass through towards the edge of the area. Was looking for Foden. Jensen gets in the way, and it's a corner kick to Manchester City inside the first 2.5 minutes. Just to remind you, Flecken in goal for Brentford, Roerslev, Collins, Vandenberg and Lewis Potter. 4 at the back. Then it's Norgard, Jensen and Janelt as a 3 in midfield. And Mbeumo, Damsgaard and Wisser are the attacking 3. I'll just remind you of the City 11 in a moment. We'll just see this corner kick first. Plenty of activity inside that 6-yard box. Akanji lurking just at the edge of the 6-yard box. Is going to be an outswinging corner here from De Bruyne, and it's headed up in the air by Norgard. Second ball there potentially for City. Gvardiol with the header. It's cleared to the edge of the area, but Savinho keeps it alive. He finds De Bruyne, his ball into the box, takes a deflection. Flecken dives just to make sure that he can avoid the corner kick. So it is Ortega in goal for Man City. We think it's a back 3 of Akanji, Ake and Gvardiol. And it's, but just as I say that, Flecken throws it straight out towards Foden at the edge of the area, and it's De Bruyne now who just gets blocked by Norgard, and Wisser having to track back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Well, I'll tell you what, you don't need to give the ball to Man City. They're going to get it off you anyway. That's terrible from Flecken.
Yeah, you just mentioned Flecken, and in my own head, I said, oh, the much improved Flecken. And as soon as that thought entered my head, he threw the ball straight to Foden. They've got to play through the press, and there's so many City blue shirts, in the Brentford half. That's going to be difficult to do. You can't give the ball away like that.
No, it wasn't good there from Flecken at all. So as I say, Ortega in goal for City, a back 3 of Akanji, Ake and Gvardiol. Kovacic and Nunes are the 2 holder midfielders. So it might be that Nunes is playing on the right. Then it's a 4 in midfield of Foden, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva and Savinho with Haaland as the front man. Brentford are on the attack now, and it's Ake with a quick clearance from the edge of his own penalty area. Throw on to Brentford now down the right-hand side. But as John mentioned, there doesn't seem to be much structure to City. Brentford didn't really do too much there, and they just went straight forward.
I tell you what, like he's saying, well, who's doing what to who? Is anybody going to bail me out here? And he ended up just chipped the ball out in the full. It's like, well, no, nobody's going to help you out, mate, seemingly. So, and it was a really poor through ball from Visser, But here at Brentford, high up the field.
Yeah, Jensen choosing to take a short throw to Damsgaard. He has got a long throw, Jensen, but he prefers to go short to his compatriot. Damsgaard now trying to take on Savinho. Ball is put out for another throw, and Jensen takes it quickly this time, trying to pick out Lewis Potu, runs into Gvardiol, and a couple of minutes after City's first quarter, now Brentford have their first set piece.
Yeah, honestly, I think we could end up with any kind of scoreline here. Good luck if you try to pick that one out, because you take a better man than me. But if it's a wide open game, then, like I said, I don't see why Brentford can't win it.
Going to be an in-swinging corner here from Mbumo, and there's 3 tall Brentford players waiting just at the edge of the 6-yard box, level with the far post. And Mbumo looking at a short option potentially, but he's going to whip this one in towards the near post. It's a poor corner. It's at knee height, and it's easy for De Bruyne to clear. It's a bouncing ball in midfield, which Jensen heads forward. Haaland then tries to get that ball going for Manchester City before Jensen goes back towards Mbumo on the right-hand side. He chests that one back towards Norgard, and there's still plenty of space here for Brentford. City have pushed forward a little bit too quickly. Jensen then finding Wissa, who gets into the box. He wants it on his right foot. He goes for goal. He tries to do an early shot there to surprise Ortega. In the end, he slices it wide. I don't think it's got a nick, and it's just going to be a goal kick. But City once again doing what Brentford did a minute ago. They just give it away and left far too much space.
Yeah, Nakanye there is rooted. Just allows Wissa to come in on his right-hand side. I think he might take another touch there. No, Ake comes out, but I think he could go one more. They look all over the place. They really do. It's making a really exciting game. It's like normally, we start off a few facts and figures, throw them around, lineups and all that. You ain't got time.
No, absolutely. Both of these teams want to get on with it here, and I think both have realised it's an occasion of outscoring the opposition. But here comes City now, and they've got plenty of space here with De Bruyne down towards Savinho on the left-hand side. Back to Kevin De Bruyne, has got supported from Kovacic. First to go back towards Savinho on the left. His ball into the box is cut out by Norgard, but City get a second chance. Is Savinho playing it back towards Akanji. It's with Kovacic around 30 yards out. Is De Bruyne in towards Foden. Ball flicked up. That's the first touch of the game, I think, for Haaland. It might be a second touch because he was trying to clear the corner a moment ago. It's now back with Kanji. Brentford can't quite clear their line. City trying to find a route into the penalty area. Foden into Gvardiol. Now it's down the left-hand side here for Savinho. Again looking at options, but for the time being, Brentford are being very condensed at the edge of their own penalty area, making it difficult for City to find any space. It's Bernardo Silva now into De Bruyne, plays an early ball down to the left-hand side here for Savinho. Plenty of players in the box if he can get a ball in. He's been closed down by Röslev, and now it's De Bruyne in towards Gvardiol, now to Akanji. Plenty of space here for City. They're swapping loads of passes, but they just can't get the ball into the box.
Yeah, but look how far Kanye and Ake are. Ake's last man. Look where he stood. I mean, honestly, they could easily get broken on there. Brentford have got to win the ball though first, and that's their problem.
Well, Gvardiol now steps forward. He wants to go for goal himself. He does go for goal. It's a tame right-footed effort from the predominantly left-footed Croatian, and the shot in the end is quite an easy one for Flecken.
They're massively overbalanced. When the ball gets to Flecken there, it's a shame for Brentford that they don't have somebody who stood on the halfway line and ready to bomb on, because I think he can get rid of the ball quickly, and then you've got loads of space. As it is, he takes his time, and then they've got to play through this press again.
Yeah.
Look at the line of 4 City players.
4 Man City players waiting at the edge of the Brentford penalty area. There's actually more of them that Flecken can pass to with the short balls than there is his own teammates. But a long clearance from Flecken is headed back in by Nunes, and it actually works out like a good ball to Wissa. Wissa at the edge of the area goes down. He wants a free kick or maybe even a penalty. Anthony Taylor, our Manchester-born referee, says nothing doing, and it's quickly played out towards the left-hand side. I mean, I'm thinking that was probably outside the box anyway, if there's any debate about whether it was a foul or not. But wait and see whether or not VAR wants to get involved.
Yeah, do you know what? Most referees there are not going to make a decision, so he's going to leave that one, and so nothing will be given there. The thing is, that could easily be a free kick outside the box, but he doesn't want to give it. He doesn't want to know in case he gets it wrong. So anyway, let's take a look at what Wissa did. There's no doubt that Kanye's over the back of him, bundling into him. It's a foul. Now that's either a penalty or a free kick at the edge of the area. It's either him or Kovacic, and they brought him down. So for me, it should be a free kick. And that's where VAR is wrong. All this will back up the referee. Referee leaves it in case it's his decision and it's an easy one, a penalty. But they don't want to give that.
No, I think that the problem is that VAR, because of that irritating phrase, no clear and obvious error, it means that referees, rather than looking at it from a perspective of has he got it right or wrong. They're almost looking at an excuse of saying, well, I understand why he's given this or not given this.
No, I think it's all wrong there, and I think what he should be calling there is penalty incident. Like, that's it, penalty incident. Please take a look at it and then tell me if I'm right or wrong. Not lead it one way or another, just say I'm not sure. There's nothing wrong with that. He wouldn't have got a great view with that. Anyway, we'll break off because Brentford trying to get forward.
It was a long diagonal ball from Yano. Just another point as well, the fact that referees are so sort of animated in their no penalty, get up, and all of that. I just think it almost puts their mates in the VAR room off to say, well, if he's that convinced, I don't want to embarrass him and make it look as though he's got a mistake.
Yeah, but in all due respect, Anthony Taylor, he maybe didn't get a great view. We've just seen it. Better than he has, right? And I thought it was a free kick, and then we'd have to look about whether it's in the air. It's complex, but he doesn't want it to be complex, does he? He can't cope with that, and he needs support though. And if he just called an incident there, all he's saying is that it could be something or nothing, and just let some experts take a look at that from the different angles, we would all be better off.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as I say, VAR's not everybody's cup of tea. In fact, it's probably lost more supporters than it's gained since it's been brought in. But certainly are different ways that it could be managed. As Brentford try and go on the attack now in Mbumo and Roerslev missing each other with a quick pass and then fighting for it in midfield is in Mbumo. Can't quite get it off De Bruyne, though, who plays it back towards Ake. In fact, he leaves it here for Stefan Ortega. Just to remind you, this is one of 3 games on our service right now. It's also Chelsea 0, Bournemouth 0, as well as West Ham 0, Fulham 0. As well as the game between Nottingham Forest and Liverpool, which kicks off at 8 o'clock. The ball now back with Ortega. Brentford are sending more and more players up to press, but City are able to get the ball away. And Akanji now playing it back towards his keeper Ortega. This time it does go long up towards the halfway line, headed forward by Norgard. Taken down by Collins and Mbumo. Just trying to find himself a little bit of space here in midfield, heading towards the area. Mbumo goes down, and he is going to get a free kick there. And this will be a good opportunity now for Brentford. Kovacic unhappy, but this will be a chance to get the ball into the box. Yeah,
I mean, there Mbumo has done a really good job of getting his body goal side, and then Kovacic just lumbers into the back of him. He's never upsides. It's an obvious free kick, and in my opinion, a yellow card as well. He brought somebody down who's driving towards goal.
And there's no effort to get the ball, really, is there?
No, not at all. He's so clumsy there. And maybe that clumsiness lets him off in a respect. But it's a free kick in a good area. Chelsea have grabbed a goal against Bournemouth.
That's right, an early goal there for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And no prizes for getting who scored that one. It was going to be Cole Palmer, isn't it? Even when he's having a not as good a season as last season, he's still easily Chelsea's best player, isn't he? Superb there from the former Manchester City man, of course. As Brentford now with this free kick, and it's a ball clipped in by Jensen, trying to find Wissa. Wissa gets the ball away from Kovacic, but he can't find an angle to shoot, so it's back to Damsgaard now in Mbumo, right hand edge of the penalty area. Jensen having a second go at getting that ball into the box. It's charged down by De Bruyne, and back on the halfway line it was Roerslev who was the last man back for Brentford. City are coming out in numbers, but he goes back towards his keeper.
Yeah, again, City just desperate to get on the front foot, but they're so blind here. Here they go again, Mbumo around the back. Good ball
early ball in towards Whistle. Oh, that was a good opportunity. Nice thinking there from Mbumo. I'm probably one of the first people to criticise him for the fact he rarely uses his right foot, but he used his right foot there. It's a bouncing ball into the box, and Wissa very nearly gets on the end of it.
I tell you what, with 13 minutes, you can't take your eye off the game. There's so much there. It's a delight. If only teams like City, when they went away from overbalance like that, football would be joyful, wouldn't it? They're so desperate to get forward. They're leaving so many holes at the back. It's making it a cracking game.
Introduce a law then that you have to have 5 attackers on the field at any time. That would force everyone to be just a little bit more attack-minded. But 13 and a half minutes on the clock, unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. It has been a really exciting game here at the Gtech. Not too much in terms of efforts on goal, but certainly plenty of open space for both teams to try and attack. City seeing just a bit more of the ball, but Brentford have had their chances as well, as Gvardiol now switching play from left to right to pick out Nunez here on the right-hand side. So it's Nunez trying to find some space, plays it in towards Foden. He finds Kovacic just at the edge of the D, into De Bruyne. Brentford pretty much back with their whole 11 here at the edge of the penalty area, trying to close down Manchester City. Akanji now over to the right-hand side. Ending Nunez, back to Akanji again. Options for a ball into the box. Foden now picks it up. Haaland had gone on a slightly more diagonal run, but it's gone over towards Savinho here on the left-hand side. He runs straight into Roerslev, who plays it back in towards Norgard, who is loath to clear it long. He really should do that because there's too many City players in the way. Does play it long, and Wissa there claiming he was shoved by Kovacic. Referee disagrees, but Wissa gets up and wins the ball back for Brentford anyway, and he's trying to dance away from Kovacic right now. He just about manages it, plays it into Damsgaard, who then finds in Bumo, and suddenly it opens up here for Brentford on the right-hand side, and Bumo into the penalty area. He's got support from Lewis Potter, but he wants to go for goal himself. Always tried that typical Bumo move there of switching it right by the near post, but Ortega, unlike David Raya a couple of weeks ago, was wise to that, makes the save, and it's out for a corner.
Yeah, maybe he's seen the video. What a break from Brentford, though. You know, brilliant work down the near side from Visse, then a lovely ball from Damsgaard, and then, you know, you're always going to back the Frenchman to wriggle and get his shot away. He didn't get the power really behind that, did he? But it's a good effort, that, and a good save.
It is, yeah. Thomas Frank and his bench applauding that. Thomas Frank then turning to the crowd to get them motivated as well, because he knows that it's going to be a big factor for Brentford tonight if they're going to get a result against City. Need to have that home crowd behind them, but it's going to be an in-swinging corner here from Mbeumo. The last corner was a poor one from him. This one is exactly the same. It says once again De Bruyne at the near post with an easy clearance, and for all that good work on the counter, his corners have got to be better.
Yeah, exactly. They were all loading up at the far post, all the big guys, so you're better off just, you know, floating one up on the breeze rather than hitting one flat like that. It's been picked up by the first man twice now.
Yeah, same man on both occasions able to get that clearance in for Man City, and they're back in possession now in midfield here with Mateus Nunes. Over to Bernardo Silva. It does seem that right back role for City is quite fluid this evening. We've seen Bernardo there a couple of times, we've seen Nunes there a couple of times as well. It's almost like they've decided they don't need one this evening, and they go on the attack now with Nunes towards the edge of the area. Gets stopped by Lewis Potter, who then has to work really hard to avoid the corner kick. It's just a throw on to City right by the corner flag. Yeah,
Carl Walker said that he's looking for a move, and he may have lost a yard or so, but it's a big loss, you know.
Not just as an influence as well, in terms of a statesman in the club. He's been there for such a long time.
But it's like the fact that maybe he's lost a yard and he's not getting picked. You know, it's not lost on me. It's not only Rodri who's missing from the team. You know, but a good Carl Walker is somebody so defensively strong. A lot of the time just sweeps around the back. You forget about that pace, and it gets him out of trouble, and he does it time and time again. He's not there. He's not there to do that. They look like they could get picked on tonight. Akanyi's a strong player, but he doesn't cover the ground quite so well, does he? And, you know, I don't know about Ake either, really. But anyway, it's been a good game so far.
It has, and of course they've been trialling Rico Lewis in that position for a little while now, and I'm not really sure exactly what his best position is. Is he a holding midfielder? Is he a right back? Is he a sort of general sort of midfielder stroke right back, left back? I'm not really sure exactly what his best role is, the Manchester City youth player, but it certainly looks like he's going to get more game time now with Carl Walker seemingly looking for a move away.
He likes to play him in that inverted role, but then you find out it's almost like he's playing second striker a lot. You know, just stood at the edge of the box. You know, great when they're dominating and all that, and even then, he doesn't seem to be able to beat a man. So it's just like domination at the edge of the box. But as soon as it unravels, that you don't really see him chasing after his left winger, you know. So for me, I don't really get it, to be honest.
No, it's an interesting one as to how Guardiola's going to attack all of this. Of course, still got a couple of weeks of the window left to see where the clubs are going to be bringing players in. But it does seem as though the January window is not quite as sort of explosive as it used to be. Teams are really having to watch their spending as well. As the ball goes out here for Brentford for a throw down the left-hand side. Nunes just couldn't quite keep it in play. Taken here by Jensen. The pressure here going in towards Damsgaard. Norgard now towards Lewis Potter. Tries an early ball in to find Damsgaard. It's into Wissa, who he was trying to get away from Akanji to find enough space for the shot, or indeed to play it into Mbeumo. Wasn't able to do either of those in the end, and City just about get the ball away. And now with Bernardo Silva finding Mateus Nunes, and he's going through the gears here down the right-hand side, but his pass across towards either Haaland or De Bruyne was way under hit. And the ball now played back towards Flecken, who takes his time, plays the ball out towards Roslev, which just a bit overhit anyway. But still a little bit chaotic from both teams at times.
Yeah, but I'm loving the chaos. It's like a good kids game somehow, isn't it? When tactics just go by the by. You might see it in the playground, you know. Everybody wants to score, everybody wants to get in on the ball. For me, it looks like Brentford are having to work harder to get on the ball, but that's fine. They don't mind that. And City, we just saw Núñez there with the pace. Well, we'll break off. Here come the bees again.
Yeah, Damsgaard with an early ball down the right-hand side. Wisser stays on side. He's got a tight angle. He goes for goal. And I'll tell you what, that shot is off target. It's away for a goal kick, but it almost ended up being a good cross for Mbeumo as well. But in the end, it just misses the target and it misses the teammate as well.
Yeah, it's a lovely little hip wriggle from him. Just buys himself a bit of time to get the shot away. Akanji's planted there. And I think, he's looking down. He's not even aware of where Mbeumo is. But, just if he scrapes his shot, if his shot's not quite as good, Mbeumo's putting it into the back of the net. So it's very unlucky that for the Bees.
It is, but City making a mess of playing out from the back of perhaps Brentford don't punish them enough. It's a loose ball from Ortega, which Mbeumo tried to back heel to Janelt. In the end, he didn't quite get it through to his teammate. And City have it back in now with Guardiola finding Savinho, who's having to track back into his own half to see a bit more of the ball here now, the Brazilian. Square to Phil Foden. Support from Núñez here on the right-hand side. Still struggling to get any kind of service in towards Erling Haaland. Played back towards Kovacic. Haaland looking a little bit isolated there up front for now, but that's not a problem for him. He knows that as long as he gets that one chance, he'll always back himself to take it. As Ake finds a bit of space to move forward. Couldn't quite get a ball into the box himself. Finds Gvardiol and now De Bruyne on the left-hand side. De Bruyne's ball charged out for a throw. It's, so far, Brentford are dealing with it in terms of they can't quite get the ball off City as often as they'd like, but at least they're stopping them getting into the box. Yeah,
and every time they do get a hold of the ball, they do something meaningful, don't they? Look at them. Brentford, they're all back tight as they're not. They know what to do. They know where they want to defend. They're allowing City a little bit out wide, not too much, but mostly saying, try and break us down through the middle. It's going to be tough. And it is. They're all lined up, aren't they, waiting to defend. But they're working hard, the Bees, to keep City at bay. And City, so far, haven't found their striker.
No, they haven't. Haaland now being marked here by Nathan Collins. There's still no way of getting that ball into him, really. De Bruyne now trying a quick one-touch to get it in towards Foden. It doesn't quite reach his target, though. And now, with Norgard perhaps overcomplicating things as he's trying to get that ball away. In the end, draws a foul from Kovacic. That should be a yellow card, really. It's the second time he's tripped a player without really trying to go for the ball.
He just booted him because he'd lost the ball. He can't let them have a quick counter, so he boots him. Which about that isn't a yellow card, and he's already done that once. So, yeah, Anthony Taylor might not want to book anybody, but a booking's a booking, and he's just missed one.
Yeah, should have done a bit better with that one, I think, the referee. But it's back with Nathan Collins here now for Brentford. Looked up, trying to see if there's any options for a long ball, playing it back in towards Mark Flecken. There's still 4 Man City players lurking here at the edge of the area. Brentford do give it away cheaply. That's Flecken trying another long ball this time to pick out Roerslev. It's a terrible pass back from Roerslev. It's a flighty ball which goes straight to De Bruyne, and now it's a chance here for Savinho, but he runs straight to the top. He turns away from Damsgaard, heads towards the penalty area, finds Foden. Foden trying to turn away from 2 Brentford players, is able to get it back towards De Bruyne on the left-hand side. Into Foden again. Got Mbeumo and Norgard for company. Back in towards De Bruyne. His cross deflects off Brian Mbeumo. And then Damsgaard trying to step forward, but he can't win that ball back for Brentford. It's still City on the attack down the left-hand side. De Bruyne right across the box this time. And it was Haaland with the header into the side netting, but that all came from Brentford having a goal kick and giving the ball away.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a big pop at Mads Roerslev, but, everybody makes mistakes. It was a bullet header, good ball to far post from De Bruyne. From the angle, he's done ever so well to, fetch his head around that and get it as close. But no cigar, and that's the first sort of even half chance that he's had.
Yeah, it was Haaland trying to strain to get that ball on target, but as John mentioned, the angles really were against him. We're over the halfway mark in this first half. 23 minutes gone. It's Brentford 0, Man City 0. It will be John to take us through to half-time.
All good games. The first half of this first half has gone like a flash. Really enjoyable stuff. Game going end to end. Nothing boring. As again, the Bees take hold of the ball. Lewis Potter having to play left back tonight. I know he'd rather be playing further up the field, but he's got pace about him. We know he can play a variety of positions pretty well. Got the odd goal in him as well. That's not a bad thing either. There's the ball with Van den Berg, and he flicks one out. Looks for Visser. Akanji will win that duel, and then Bernardo goes all the way back to his keeper. And the flag had gone up there on Johan Visser. He can't quite believe that. But anyway, it didn't matter. Ball now with Ake, back to his keeper again, Ortega. He's had one save to make, hasn't he? But there have been a couple, in fact, about 3 decent chances now for the Bees. And one reasonable save. Maybe if Mbuma hit the ball harder. But anyway, we break off again because Visser is on the ball out of the field. And Mbuma now scrapes the ball into Damsgaard, brings it under control. He's desperate to get that ball away, but in doing that, I think it's made a mistake. But the Bees pick it up again into the box. They go. Keane Lewis Potter, cut back. Oh, and Ake blocks it away. That really lacked conviction, didn't it? I'm not sure he shouldn't have gone for it there.
But 2 occasions there, John, where Brentford players should be shooting and they're trying to find a teammate. Damsgaard is an attacking midfielder. He should be shooting from inside the penalty area there. He had enough space to do it. And then here, Lewis Potter, all right, he's a right footer, but just put your left foot through it. You're only 6 yards away. There's always a chance that Ortega might make a mess of it. As it was, as you mentioned, it was a sort of tame, scuffed, sort of square ball, which was easily cleared out for a corner.
Yeah, he did have his 2 strikes in the box, but they were clearly marked there. Anyway, it is a corner kick, an opportunity then for Matthias Jensen to deliver from this side, the first corner, I think. Ball comes in, headed by Kanye. Chance for a strike, and Damsgaard hits that beautifully, but he's blocked away. Really brilliant technique there. Kept the ball down, kept his eye on it, knee over the top of the ball. Superb.
Yeah, it was a good strike from Damsgaard, but as you say, just too much traffic in front of him for that to get on target. I think it was a combination of his own teammate Collins plus Bernardo Silva behind him that got that block in, but throw on to Brentford now down the left-hand side.
Looks like West Ham have scored. Wonder if it's full Krug or wonder who's playing for them today. Anyway, ball into the box has not been cleared away. Kanye heads it up in the air. Kovacic tries to make the clearance. He doesn't get it done. Damsgaard chases after the ball, puts the ball in, but it's deflected onto the head of Bernardo Silva, and so Brentford now have to go back all the way back to Flecken, who launches a big up and under. Guardiola will win the next ball, and now he's had to scurry back towards his own goal. Josko Guardiola, the Croatian, finds his keeper Ortega. He's closed down. I've never seen City play out from the back quite so many long balls as they have done today, but anyway. They're on the ball. De Bruyne, great ball to Nunez, puts him into the box now. Real opportunity. He cuts. Oh, that was an absolute gilt-edged opportunity. He couldn't make up his mind whether he wanted to shoot or play in Haaland. And by the time he'd made his mind up, too late. Chance is gone.
Haaland actually had his head in his hands when he saw what Nunez was doing there, because it was a great chance. City really should be 1-0 up there. It just opened up for them in midfielders. Here comes Kovacic now. Good strong challenge. He wants a free kick. Referee says no.
No, and here come the Bees this game, going end to end. And Buma's made a great run here. He goes into the box. Is it? No, he's just trying to thread it into Visser. Would he have been offside? I don't know. The ball didn't reach him, but they've still got it with Ruslev now down the flank. Puts a good-looking ball into the box. That's headed away at the far post by Nunez. And then Vitelli out there, he went down very theatrically, and here comes Nunez again. It's 2 against 2. Again, Haaland's by himself. Nunez goes for it, and this time he thumps it over. In fact, it was Savinho, but the finishing not quite up to scratch. All lumped up in front of the Brazilian there, and you're just thinking, well, go on then. You know, it had to be a meaningful shot, but it was one over the top.
Well, it was, and again, it's just it starts with Janelt being far too clever in front of Man City's penalty area, but then once that starts for City, again, they just make a real mess of this. It's almost like Savinho couldn't make his mind up, similar to what we had with Nunez earlier, where we're seeing that incident now with Nunez. I mean, in fairness, good work there from Collins, it was, who slid in. It just sort of forced Nunez to rush his mind a little bit, but you could see Guardiola on the touchline. He can't believe it.
No, I just think there you've got to have that presence of mind, don't you? You know, control of the ball, know what's going on around you. If Collins is sliding out of the picture, then so he is. But he just overreacted to that, and then the ball, you know, controlled back and his inside is nicked away from him. You either control it stone dead, you get your shot away, but you're perfect there. He's a professional footballer and a good one, and he's made a right mess of that. And that might be the best chance we've had. But anyway, both teams are going to create chances tonight. They have. The only minor miracle is that we're goalless, because there's been so much attacking play.
There has been, yeah. 29 minutes, it is still goalless. And that is a surprise. I think both teams would look at moments when they probably should have used. I mean, that chance for City just now was a great opportunity. Brentford have had a couple of balls into the box that could have gone a bit better as well. But as you say, it's fascinating to watch this game. Two teams that know they're better going forward and trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. De Bruyne on the ball now, finds full Foden. Here comes City on the attack into the box. He goes for a shot when he's immediately blocked away. How many players making the wrong choice right at the death here is Bernardo. Again, Foden puts his foot on the ball this time, buys him some time. De Bruyne out to the right, to Nunez, Savinho, Haaland, Silva in the box. Now Foden too on the ball, but he goes back. Bit of slow play from Man City as we hit the half-hour mark. We haven't had a goal, but boy, we've gone close.
We have gone close. There was no goal in the end of the West Ham-Fulham game. It just looked like there was a close chance there for West Ham, but it's still goalless. Now we're hearing there might be another chance for West Ham, so we'll confirm that in a second. But in the meantime, City's still on the attack. Yeah,
the rumours that Fulham were a back three tonight, which is not usually how they go about things. But anyway, I don't know whether they were or not, but something different perhaps. Maybe or maybe not. But anyway, ball into the box, easily dealt with. Brentford have it back. Try to play out from the back now. And Keane Lewis Potter's done well enough. Damsgaard fights for it and he wins his little duel. Ball thumped forwards, not a good one. Ake will pick it up. Under pressure though from Visser. Kanye happy to go back to Ortega. So a front three, and you can see it there. Damsgaard out left, Visser through the middle and Bumo to the right. And three defenders between Bernardo Silva and Nunez. They seem to have right back covered, which you see there because Bernardo's gone there. And you're right about them sort of being a bit more fluid in how they're defending. It doesn't help them, not necessarily.
It doesn't help them in defence. What it does do is it means that they've got extra bodies to get forward, and I think that's why Guardiola's done it. I think neither Bernardo or Mateus Nunes would elect to play a right back if you asked them to. It's like they're sort of having to share that responsibility because Guardiola has probably assured them that throughout the match they're going to do more attacking than defending.
Yeah, exactly that. As Mbuma picks the ball up, Guardiola goes into the back of him, but he's held on well there. The Cameroon international, and Collins goes all the way back to his keeper Flecken.
Yeah, just to let you know that there was a goal for West Ham which was disallowed for a foul. Kilman had scored that goal, but then just a couple of minutes later West Ham do take the lead, and that looks like it hasn't been disallowed by VAR, and it's Carlos Soler with the goal.
Oh right, okay, so he'd been missing recently, hadn't he? Soler, I think, suspended perhaps. But anyway, Guardiola now on the ball. It's a poor kick out again from Flecken. Guardiola to enter the ball away from him, loses a bit of control there. The ball goes out to left hand side. Savinho shows it to Ruslev, who nearly nicks it off him. Bernardo now on the left hand side and just drifting into a more central position with the ball. The Portuguese, Kovacic picks it up. And again, it's all gone very slow now. Bit of cat and mouse now. Don't tell me West Ham have just got a second goal. It looks like they might have done anyway. Guardiola on the ball to Savinho. A better ball. Nunez poking out left-hand side now. So they really are fluid, aren't they? Foden, though, inside right now. He cuts into the box. His first touch a little bit heavy. Akanji now out with his feet. Guardiola. This is at the edge of the area. Two centre-backs passing to each other, and they're a lot closer to the opposition goal than their own, which tells you how high up the field City are today. Nunez again, a ball to Guardiola, puts a ball to the far post, and it comes off the back of the defender. Did Flecken keep it in?
He tried his best to style it out, that he did, but at one point I think he was at least a yard outside the line there with his whole body and the ball. So it will be a corner kick to Manchester City. It is the second goal for West Ham. They're now 2-0 up. Soler on 31 and now Souček on 33 minutes.
Yep. He scores a few goals, doesn't he, Thomas Souček? I think his compatriot Soufal might have run his race a little bit right back there, but Souček's still such a strong player. Anyway, here the ball to the edge of the box. Kovacic with a try. Ooh, and it's whistled just wide. I mean, he'd be hoping somebody deflected that in or something. It wasn't a great hit.
It wasn't the cleanest strike, but I tell you what, it wasn't far from goal. And there's that second where everybody's looking at it. The Brentford players, the Brentford keeper Flecken, he can't be sure where this is going until it's just sort of skirting across the 6-yard box. Then he could probably see on the angle that it is going just wide. But it was certainly a nervy moment there for Brentford.
Yeah, he didn't get many, does he, Mateo Kovacic? Anyway. Now we see Flecken bouncing up and down, ready to take his goal kick. No reason why they shouldn't just boot the ball long, fight for second ball. In fact, Mbeumo wins it first, and then he hooks it away. But nobody's read that. Akanji picks it up. And then Holland under pressure will come away with the ball. He's driving forward now. He's got Foden on the overlap. Will he use him? No, he goes central, and that ball is picked off well by Matthias Jensen. And now it's Brentford rolling forward. You know, such a good game this. Brentford commit to attacks when they have them. Damsgaard now, it's a good-looking ball from him. But Ake reads it better than anybody else.
Yeah,
and then
it's unlucky from Damsgaard there. It's almost like he split his two teammates there. And then he gets an easy ball on the left-hand side, which just rolls through his legs and goes out for a tame throw on. It is such a shame. Damsgaard came to Brentford with such a huge reputation from his time with the Danish national team and in Italy. He didn't really make a very auspicious start, but in the last few months he has been a much better player. Was Brentford's player of the month for October as well, and that's not, he won't be happy with that.
No, he was thinking about what he was going to do next. He's a talent. Anyway, long ball forward from Phil Foden. Didn't quite work out, but the Citizens win the ball back with De Bruyne, and then out to left-hand side. Guardiola, good ball into the middle. Savinho drops the shoulder. He's got the overlap in De Bruyne. Into the box he goes. But he can't beat Ruslev. Some good defending from him. But then the ball is one just outside the box. Kovacic. And now a shot comes in, blocked away at source. Damsgaard's picked it up. Can he control it? Yes, he can. Out the feet then of Jensen out to left-hand side. Keen Lewis Potter does well to hold on. Janelt, good ball into the middle, a little bit lucky there with the control. And now Lewis Potter in space, a great ball to him from Janelt. Nunes is the man tasked to defend him. Lewis Potter, maybe a chance for a strike, runs into the challenge in the end. And the ball's going to break for Phil Foden. He couldn't make his mind at what he wanted to do there.
I mean, it's such a shame as well because he has so much time, almost too much time. And by the time he gets to the edge of the area, it's almost like he's not too sure. Does he want to go for goal? He says, I am going to go for goal. But by then, he gets charged down and there's nobody following him on that left-hand side. So the ball is lost easily. And here comes City now. Yeah,
they do with De Bruyne. I don't think there's ever a point the game hasn't been stretched. Holland's ball into the box is not good. And Mbeumo, though, is beaten to it. And maybe a chance here. Savinho. No, he leaves it to Guardiola, just the edge of the box again. Good-looking ball in from Foden, header across. But they need two Hollands in there, don't they? He's heading that to himself.
He is, yeah. I mean, as I say, I'm sure there's a computer game or a cartoon version of Haaland where he could actually head it to himself. But in reality, there's no way he's going to get on the end of it. And if he's that far forward, no one else is going to be level with him. So, yeah, it was always going to be a difficult one for City. I think initially he probably looked at goal and thought, can I get an angle on goal? But he was just too far wide.
I tell you what, Nottingham Forest title contenders, well, I reckon so. They've taken the lead against Liverpool, and they've been pretty good recently, haven't they?
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, they're the only team to have beaten Liverpool in any competition this season with that win at Anfield in October. And it's Chris Wood, who's, as I say, he's been through his clubs in the Championship before he managed to sort of bed down in the Premier League, but he's getting the goals consistently now.
Yeah, did Forest against Luton at the weekend in the FA Cup third round. They made 11 changes and it was still good, all apart from the striker Awoniyi, who looked like he's completely lost his confidence. So their title ambition is all about whether Chris Wood keeps fit, I think. As Akanji slips inside the box there, but he recovers his composure. Enough time to get the ball away. Great ball from Guardiola. Now De Bruyne to Erling Haaland into the box. An early shot taken on, but Flecken down. Neat and crisp. He didn't really get any power into that shot. It was on target. It was a good save from Flecken.
It's a quick breakout from City. The trouble they've had previously is they got to Brentford's penalty area, then they were lacking options once they got into the box. This time it happened quickly. De Bruyne finding Haaland on his left foot. Doesn't make a clean contact with the ball. He scuffs it a little bit, and it's a comfortable save in the end there for Flecken.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the ball into the ground almost straight away, didn't he? Which took a lot of the pace out of that. A long boot out from the keeper. Nunes wins the first header and the second. And then some defending to be done as Foden hangs a leg out to try and win the ball. I think maybe Matthias Jensen got there first, or just having a word with himself. But we at 39 minutes now, and like I said, we've had some great opportunities, but no goal just yet. Anyway, all augurs well. It's a real even game. This little shove there from the big City number 9 gets rid of his marker. for the short term at the very least. Little turn from Bernardo Silva. He's trying to thread the iron needle in the box. He can't quite manage it, but neither can Mbeumo find Visses. So City have it back, dominating the possession and territory now. Bernardo straightens up. Little heel from him. Now Kovacic out to the right hand side. Well, the ball crossed into nobody in particular. And Mbeumo heads away. And De Bruyne happy to watch that one out. Will take the quick throw, gets it to Guardiola, and they recycle the ball. And again, you just look how far up the field the centre-backs are. Ake now creeping towards the Brentford box. De Bruyne now, left-hand side. Where's Savinho gone? Well, he's so narrow, it's untrue. You know, Paul pointing to where he is, but he's right in the middle.
He's no use there at all, is he? But from that sort of angle, doesn't give his teammates any option because Haaland is pretty much level with him anyway.
It's like they're not bothered about getting the ball wide to put crosses in there. Here is De Bruyne, a ball just the edge of the box. Some decent defending there. Did the ball come off Bernardo Silva? Well, I think that's what the Bees are claiming. I'm not sure if that's stuck or not.
I think he has, yeah. I think Bernardo was just a bit unlucky that the ball flicked off him as that clearance was coming in the 6-yard box. So it will be a goal kick to Brentford. Less than 5 minutes now before we hit injury time. I can't imagine there'll be more than a minute or two of that. And overall, we could see Guardiola, I should say, Pep Guardiola pacing up and down his technical area because he'll be frustrated. He would have thought that his side have had enough attacking possession to have made more of a mark on this game, and they've struggled so far.
I tell you what. You know, the form had improved slightly recently, but I watched them and they're porous. You know, and like I said, West Ham could have scored a load of goals against them if they had a bit more conviction about what they were doing. They've got problems of their own, albeit not tonight, where they're doing pretty well, West Ham. But again, the City formation, it makes me think that you're just clutching at straws about what to do. You know, it's like saying, well, if we're not great at defending, let's not defend. You know, let's just go on the rampage attacking, which is a nice idea, but they've not entirely lived up to that. And then when they do get forward, they're padding the ball around the edge of the area, and it's like, you know, they're just throwing mud at the wall. There's nothing inspired about what they're doing tonight. So they're there to be taken down. Can Brentford come up with the goods? Well, at the moment, they're closing Kovacic down inside his own box. He finds Ake. Damsgaard will close him down. Goes back to Ortega. He's been closed down. There's a ball around the corner then from Kovacic. A no-look pass, and I just thought he's dead lucky to get away with that. Anyway, they're taking a risk or two playing out from the back.
There's a fluidity about City which is great to watch, but sometimes it's bordering on being nonchalant, really, when you think of how many Brentford players are trying to press. Although in that case, De Bruyne does really well to skip past two of them, and he's on the counter now.
He is. He's driving forward. And then a sliding challenge comes from, is it Visser? Oh, wow, I mean, what an appetite to get back and help his teammates out that is. Both Ian and Mbeumo incredible in that respect. But it's City out the right-hand side with Nunez. Again, ball back on the inside. Foden shapes to shoot. Little drag back onto that left foot. Guardiola now is narrow. Silva's out left-hand side. Savinho decides he's going to play as a winger now. Here he is. Out in that left wing, little shimmy and a step inside, but it's so congested in the middle and they don't want to play out wide. They've got a great big target man and they don't want to fling the ball into him. I just wonder sometimes. Anyway, Guardiola on the ball finds Anthony Taylor, and they'll have to restart from where it hit the referee.
Yeah, I mean, Haaland's got his arms up there complaining, but I mean, even though there's the ball deflected into a City player, the referee has to acknowledge the fact that it hit him, so there was a quick drop ball. The ball's in the penalty area now anyway.
It is, but not for long, and Brentford defend that one well. Ball with Ruslev, and then he scrapes it off De Bruyne, and they will have a throw in a bit further up the field. So we've not got too long of this first half, and it's all gone so quickly. And I don't really think we're going to get to too much added time. I'd reckon a minute, if that.
Yeah, minute, two maximum, yeah. And as I say, with the only game in this in these 4 Premier League fixtures in there, still goalless, but I reckon the entertainment value is probably pretty high in this one.
Yeah, I mean, for the neutral, it's a cracking good game, this. And honestly, the jeopardy is there. You know, City could so easily have their colours lowered tonight. Champion team. Brentford had been good at home and then seemingly not in the... in recent history, their form had tailed off a little bit, but they'd played some good teams recently as well. You know, And as well as playing well against the better teams, at some point they want to get the results as well. Maybe that's tonight, but they can't get the ball for the moment. Guardiola straightens up now. He's driving forward the edge of the box. Savinho now looking for a cross-field ball. He finds one to Nunez, but what's he going to do? He's closed down now. Foden scampers into the box, but didn't find him. Bernardo Silva then, and he in and then out the box. So Nunez out with his feet. Akanji now. Again back to Nunez. Good looking ball in the box, chested down. Kovacic again, a chance for a strike. No. And then the next one is from De Bruyne. He's off balance, and that ball is still coming down, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, he's got underneath that one completely. De Bruyne flicked it way up in the air. And yeah, we can see a couple of Brentford fans doing that famous Billy Bowden cricket umpire impression, saying that it was a 6. That's how hard that's how far he hit it there, De Bruyne. But yeah, I mean, we've got the 1 minute added now, confirmed by our fourth official, and certainly from the two managers, I think Guardiola will be more frustrated because whilst Brentford have had a couple of spells of good pressure, City have been the side with more of the ball, but very little to show for it in terms of chances in front of goal.
Exactly that. I mean, I don't know. Oftentimes, I think that Pep Guardiola overthinks, the job at hand, and sometimes makes it even more complicated than it should be. As much as they're sort of winning the numbers game and playing a lot in the opposition half, creating an awful lot, are they? But they've had the best opportunities. Here, a long ball forward from De Bruyne is easy for Flecken to pick up. He rolls the ball out. There might be one last Brentford attack here before they go in for their half-time cup of tea. Little flick on. But it doesn't work out, and the ball will roll harmlessly out. The referee will be looking at his watch right now. As he's close to the halfway line. Anthony Taylor blows his whistle. There we go. We're at the break, and it's goalless.